Alright, Tier 8 Confrontation Mode on this map, whose name just jumped out the back of my head. Still, it is, as you can see, I'm in my T32. We are the Americans taking on the Germans. I'm hearing a lot of talk about the Confrontation Mode, which is, of course, brand new to 8.11. And the general consensus seems to be the Americans and the Russians tend to do better in Confrontation than the Germans, the British, or the French. Well, here we have Americans versus the Germans, and our prototype, as you can see in the chat there, is already saying, yep, Germany's going to win this one. And they're like, well, dude, nice to hear that you have so little confidence in us. I'm going to do the usual heavy tank thing. I'm going to head for a city. Doesn't mean, just because there isn't any artillery doesn't mean it's still not nice to have hard cover around that you can hide behind. I do know, however, as I move up, that the city is going to be covered by a series of very nasty tank destroyers. In particular, those 3 Reims-Borsig Waffenträgers, all of which could be extremely heavily armed. I do fortunately have the super bouncy T32 turret and the ability to side scrape decently. So I'm going to try and punch as far as possible in the city before meeting enemy resistance, and then hopefully just start killing anything that gets near me. I'm happy to see that a good chunk of my team is coming this way. Less happy to see that there's 2 guys kind of chilling back in base, and as a result, only 4 tanks going down into the bridge. But nothing to do about it now. The enemy approaches. Alright, with those guys approaching right over there, it doesn't look like I can't really cross this street safely. So, I fall back into defensive position and start waiting to see what's going to happen. The T-34 decides the best policy is simply to drive right smack dab down the middle of the main avenue. He ends up in front of a Jagdtiger 88. Doesn't seem he knows how to penetrate it, even though he's got one of the most powerful guns possible in the game, and I can't seem to figure out how to get out there and take advantage of his distraction, so he is swiftly taken out. Still, I know there seems to be a decent position right here where I can engage that Tiger P and that VKP. Put a shot in the side of the P. And then wait in a semi-side scrape position here for the reload. Once I got it, start backing out looking for the target. The Tiger P tracks me, but the track does its job and eats the entire shot. I just need to be patient for a little bit here. That's when I realize, oh, I'm kind of hanging out in front of an opening right there that I can't see around. At least the VKP reshoots me, so I'm sitting here in this somewhat potentially very vulnerable position right here. I really need to be a little bit further back. Finally get my track back and be able to pull back into a less vulnerable spot and then roll forward into this spot right here, where I quickly put a solid shot into the VK301P. So 2 Porsche tanks over here. Very small opening right here to engage them through, but as long as I'm sitting here, someone should go through it. The Tiger P accuses me of using gold. No. You can see which ammunition I have selected. Oh, hello. There, that VK301P is getting sneaky. So he's going to wait till he's not detected anymore, then I bet he's going to drive right around this corner to try and take us out. Yep, there he is. And there he goes. Alright, time to take on this Tiger P. He takes off my track again. I'm not quick enough to get a shot back at him. Ugh. Again, I lose my track. It appears he's sticking around for another shot, so I'm going to see if I can put one in to make him pay for it. He gets some damage to me, I put some more damage into him, and the other T-32 comes out, and he decides he doesn't really want to have to take any more free attacks. R269 is pissed because he didn't get much help. He thinks that he doesn't even get much help. Unfortunately, the whole team seems to have been just ripped apart by all those tank destroyers that were chilling back up along the E1 through 3 line. And now, of course, they're also now focusing down the guys on the south side. I'm going to do a slightly dumb risky maneuver right here. And because I didn't see the low right there, I take up a lot of damage for a non-damaging shot. Yeah, that went well. Alright. Gotta do something over here, which I don't really want to expose myself to that sort of fire again. But I'm basically the only tank left over here that has any real health level, so it's really up to me to try and make something happen. Still worrying about those tank destroyers that I know are back there. Unfortunately, I'm now out of friends, except for a T28 that's been hanging out in A3 for a little while. See a full health Nashorn coming up. Get a quick shot into him. I'm lucky. He ends up shooting the corpse of the other T32 first. I go back into side scraping position, trying to spot him out, but I can see he's not thinking about coming out anytime soon. Very tenacious position. Fortunately, just something about going after him. Suddenly I realize there's a E25 car on my back. I turn and try and get my armor better against him. Unfortunately, that means I forget about the Nashorn and end up taking a flank shot from him. Try and run down the E25 for a brief distance, but he quickly gets away. So I turn back on the Nashorn, who after an excellent move last time, has apparently forgotten that I can turn too. I really should just ram him to death right here, but I shoot him anyways because I need him out of play. Now I'm watching for that E25 again, knowing also there's still a Tiger P out there, and of course that whole swarm of tanks there now coming up from the bridge. Not quite sure why that T28 prototype is just sitting there. You may have just gone AFK. And oh, hi there, Mr. Tiger P.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Go away. We don't need your kind around here. Whoop! The T28 prototype just hammered on the E25. Try and go out after him, but the dead Nashorn actually means I can't get through that gap easily. And that's when the guys from the bridge start showing up. Get a shot into the Panther tank. Trying to keep an eye on that E25 at exactly the same time. Weakened Indian Panzer suddenly pops up. Roll out. Finish him off. E25 comes charging out, starting his chances appeared, only to suddenly see my gun is now pointed at him as all my frontal armor. Whoa. I guess that Panther really wants to have a fight. Oh, I get immobilized in a very bad spot. The Borsigs are there. I end up accidentally shooting the T28 in the rear. Bring the Panther down even lower in health before the Borsigs, one of the Borsigs finally figures out the range and finishes me off. So yes, not precisely a glorious victory, but a extremely hard-fought defeat, I think, at least for me. Unfortunately, there are large chunks of the rest of my team just got eaten alive. Good game, and good night.